Hello everybody, and welcome to another niche video. This is going to be more of a guide than anything else. A lot of people are showing some real interest in this game, and I'm super happy about that because I, for one, am a huge fan. We've got some cute little guys right here, and this video is going to be more or less for those of you who may not really know about this game or know how it works and kind of want a better explanation of what happens here. So I'm going to just point out a couple things. First of all, over here in your corner, you have different kind of areas where you can drop genes and mutate offspring. These are your available genes. You can unlock more as you go through the game and discover new genes and stuff like that. Super cool stuff over there. You have settings and questions. This is your day kind of thing. This is when you want to go to the next day. So you think this game is almost like a turn-based strategy survival collection game thing. Right down here is a really important number. This is a number that I forget a lot of, and it's actually incredibly important. This is your food. When you run into 0 and you move your guys or do actions with your guys and there's 0 food, you actually lose health, and that's not good. Speaking of health and age are both located on this bar. It's a little bit interesting how they balance this game out. As time goes on, your age goes up, the white bar fills, and if you get injured, there is a red bar that comes from the other side. When these 2 points meet, your character dies. So if you take a lot of damage, you could die at a very young age. If you don't take any damage, you won't die until your white bar equals or hits that area over there. Over here is some really important stuff. Of course, male and female and genders located over there. You have this right here showcases the different kind of abilities that your pack mate has. So this one has a speed of 5. This is Eve, Adam and Eve over here. Eve has a speed of 5, which means how far they can move with one action. By the way, the actions are located on their chests. You see these 3 little green dots? That is how many moves or actions you get per turn. So as you use one, and I'll show you real quick what that looks like, they'll disappear. Her gathering is 2, or her collecting is 2. Strength is 1, that's how much damage she does. Eyesight is 3, and there are different ways to get different kinds of eyesight. Hearing is 1, she has medium ears, and smelling is 2. So that kind of explains a little bit about how you work and how these things work. Where you can see determines your vision radius. Hearing can help you with locating different rustling pastures, which we might see in this video. And I'm not really sure quite how smelling functions, or if it does function at this point, but this right here is kind of like the genetic coding of your animal, and this is extraordinarily important. And the more I play the game, the more important it becomes to me. So this is your dominant and your recessive traits, basically. The ones that are lit up are the ones that are being seen, is a good way of showing it. The ones that are not are the ones that are held in the recessive slot. So as you breed your animals together, you'll notice that both these guys have different traits. You know, in particular, Adam has poison fangs, 2 poison fangs, and she has 2 big noses. So this indicates that when these 2 breed, because she is a 50-50 and he is a 50-50, they're both the same, the child will have 1 big nose and 1 poisonous fang trait, and we'll see that in just a second. We'll point out a couple more things. He has like a no paw. That's a trait that you wouldn't really want. You want your animals to have as many paws as possible. Of course, you want to have running paws and collecting paws and mix and max based upon what you need. Big body versus normal body, etc., etc. So because he has normal body and big body, and she has normal body and normal body, if you take 1 by random from each parent, which is how this genetic kind of coding works for this game, then it is most likely that the offspring will have a normal body. However, if it has a big body, it very well might be a dominant trait. So you also have stuff like immunities. You want their immunities to be different. You have patterns that you want to pass along, etc., etc. So that's a little bit of the breakdown of how the genetics work. Now it gets a little bit intense, so we'll work into this a little bit later as we start to have some offspring. But for now, let's just get started. This is gonna be a pretty decently sized video, but I want it to be pretty much entirely a guide to the first kind of 10 or so turns. So one of the first things I like to focus on when we first start a game is a little bit of breeding, because we're gonna need some babies. So I made Daddy over here, Adam, procreate with Mommy over here, Eve. You can see down here that she is indeed pregnant, which means she has to be on a nest in order to give birth. And when she gives birth, she'll have a turn where she can't move, and the baby also can't move. So we have 2 movements left with him, and we have 3 movements left for her. I did this on purpose because I want her to actually gather all of these berries. You'll notice if we switch back to this view, her collecting is 2, and his collecting is 1. Although his attack is better. What this means, though, is that she collects more efficiently than he will. And that's very important because you want to do things as efficiently as possible. So when I first started playing this game, I had really had the urge to just run around in the grass and then not really explore in terms of looking around, but I found that looking actually is kind of a cool thing to do. So, alright, we just had a baby. We switched to the day. We have a baby now. This is the baby right here. Nuvanduk is his name. He has 2 collecting, 1 strength, and mommy's nose and eyesight and stuff like that, it looks like. So let's look a little bit into his traits. As expected, since daddy had 2 poisonous fang traits and mommy had 2 big nose traits, the baby got one of both, a big nose and a poisonous fang. Remember, 1 from each side. The baby does not have a no paw, which is good, so it got daddy's runner leg and mommy's runner leg. What else can we tell about the baby from here? It got daddy's orange trait for eyes and mommy's brown wait, I'm talking about fur, I think. So the red fur and the brown fur. And how did eyes? He had both black eyes and she had brown and mutated black eyes. I'm not really sure. It looks like red to me, but anyway, so you can kind of see how the baby looks like it's carrying some cool traits and stuff like that. It is carrying the poisonous fangs. But in order to get the poisonous fangs back into a dominant trait, we'll have to mate him with somebody else who has poisonous fangs, which we do not have at this point. So these guys have to stay here for today, since mommy's taking care of the baby, but daddy is going to go exploring this area. First, it's going to be a little bit slow. I want to see, who do I want to... I think I want the baby actually to start moving. Now, the rustling. I'm so glad that happened. That means that there's something here. There's a character there. It could be a evil carnivore come to eat us, or it could be another packmate. We want to find out. It's another packmate. Awesome. This is Rana, it looks like. She has 4 speed, 2 collecting, 2 strength. A pretty even balance on strength and collecting. But what I really want to see with her, and she's also she's got 2, because she's still young. I can't speak, I'm sorry. Because she's still young, she only has 2 actions per turn. Now I want to see what's in her DNA. I want to know who it is. Well, I can only really mate her once Nunavak grew up. I can mate her with him, but for the time being, if I wanted to mate her, I'd have to mate her with Adam. She'd also have to be a little bit older. Ooh, she has beautiful green eyes. I like that. I like the green eyes. What I don't like though is the no paw. So if I mated these 2 together, there'd be a 50% chance that the baby would get a no paw from one, a no paw from the other, and have literally no paws, which would not be good. So in an ideal world, we want to mate with this girl with somebody who has paws on both sides to limit the amount of chance we pass on the no paw gene. However, I like the ram and I like the antlers. So I really want her to have quite a few children, because I want to get the ram and antlers kind of into our main grouping. I feel like they're better than the big nose, but I haven't had a lot of experience with smell yet, so I can't be 100% sure with that. So I'm going to have her look around a little bit because I want to kind of explore this area and find more berry bushes. Meanwhile, Mom's going to go ahead and collect those so that if it rains, we don't lose out on some free berries, basically. Rain will make all your berry trees kind of grow. So we're going to keep exploring over here. She's going to look around. Maybe come that way. I don't think it's worth the risk of having these 2 mate, considering there's only a 25% chance that the offspring would have 0 no paws. So I think that for now the plan is still going to be to explore and try to find more berry trees. Ah, there's some rustling over there, and I think I would like to check that out. Mommy, what do you have going on for you right now? You aren't a great attacker. She's okay. Daddy's the best with attacking. I'm gonna call this day right here, and I want to get over here and see if we found a berry bush. Nice. And I didn't find where. Who's got? Okay, so we still have some shaking in the trees over there, but we're kind of done with our exploration. Oh no! This bunny showed up. Now the bunnies you can actually kill, but unfortunately I have no action points left. I used them all. The bunny can actually steal berries from us, so it's something to keep in mind. Now the rain has brought back the berries over here, so I'm gonna grab all those berries. Okay, the bunny didn't seem to be able to take anything, which is a-okay with me. I'm gonna send you over here on top of the bunny hole. That's what this is right here, And Dad has a little bit more space left, so he's going to continue to explore in this general direction. Maybe go down south a little bit. So one of the things we really want to do early on is find... Hey! There's a bunny that came out of the bunny hole. And this little guy is close enough to take a swipe. Now, that's going to give us food. That's awesome. I like that. I definitely am going to want some food. Now I want Mommy to start exploring over here, because I kind of want to find another pack mate. These guys are in decent shape, but I kind of want to find somebody who's going to be able to... See, I don't have a ton. I'm going to move this guy over a little bit now, because in case we find a carnivore in one of these rustling trees. Ah, man. Let's move over here. Hey, cool. We found a guy. Awesome. So this guy is not so good looking, huh? Not so good looking. All right. Well, again, the biggest thing that we want to focus on at this point is what their genetics say. This guy is blind. This is not very good. This means that no matter who I have a child with, there's a 50% chance that they're going to have blind eyes. I think blind eyes is actually recessive though, so we still might be okay, but I really don't want to pass the blind eyes trait along very much at all. It's something that I'd probably much rather avoid. So let's see, what do we want here? I don't want these two to mate because there's a decent chance of there being a no paw. They'd have at least one paw, but they'd be carrying the trait. And no paw is something that I'd like to get rid of as soon as possible. You have paws. You have a claw and a berry paw. You have blue eyes and green eyes. Did we have somebody else with green eyes? That'd give us a good chance of having some cool offspring. I might have to mate these two just for the offspring to have a cool eyesight, a cool eye thing kind of going on for them. So I'm trying to determine right now if I want to mate these two together. Immunity A, immunity B, immunity F, and D. So that's good. Now I'm going to pass on blind eyes and spit snout. At least as a recessive. In fact, it would only be recessive because normal eyes and big nose are the dominant traits. So they're going to be carriers, but I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do. I do think I want Mommy and this guy to get it on, to be honest with you. And I think I'll move this guy over here. And you are going to start exploring over this way a little bit more. Alright. This is okay. This is okay. So we're going to continue on now. Ah, cool. Good time for rain. Also, good time for a bunny to show up right there. Bunny came out of that other rabbit hole. So now we have bunny everywhere and many a drops to eat. So let's look at the baby that we had. The baby actually spits out as a dominant trait. That was my bad. So unfortunately, this guy doesn't have any smelling because it spits out as a dominant trait. It's a little bit goofy looking. We have to find a way to work that one out of the system. They did pass on the blind eyes, which we knew they would, as well as normal eyes. However, cool thing is we have some blue eyes that were passed on. It's kind of an ugly baby, but it's mine. But it's my baby, and I love him. And so we're gonna go ahead and continue kind of like with the same process. We're gonna be collecting some berries. I want you to be collecting some berries. In fact, you can spend the whole day collecting berries. I want to move around a little bit more now. I want to do a little bit of exploration still. It's gonna be pretty important, I think, in the end. I'm gonna have you collect the meat over there, and I don't see any other animals coming along this way, so I'm gonna have you collect the meat over there. Now this guy has a turn left, but we're gonna call it. This is the basic premise of this game. Now to kind of zoom out a little bit, I want to show you that we have different biomes. This looks like this is a swamp biome over here that can get your animals sick pretty easily. We have a deserty kind of dry biome, which has some different kind of food for us. I think there might also be like toxic rabbits, but I haven't found any yet. That's something that I'm still hoping to find and explore a little bit throughout time. So this is the process that we go through. This is kind of like the day-to-day activities. And I'll show you one more breeding kind of thing that we'll do. I'm gonna move the little one. Where are you, little one? Over there. They have good attack, actually. The little guy has good attack. I'm gonna move Mommy off too, because what I kind of want to happen now, actually, is I kind of want these two to mate and get her back to the good old place Getting ready for her next big adventure, I suppose. I'm also gonna take this guy right here, and actually I'll take this guy and do some looking around, which is interesting. He's blind, but I guess he can still see things. I don't know. Ah, rabbit hole. Cool. We're gonna step on this rabbit hole and just stick there for now. Hopefully the rabbit will kind of hop back over. So to kind of give you a little bit more of an explanation of what I'm looking to do here, and then I think I'm gonna call this one a pretty decent beginner's guide video to the first couple turns. You'll notice that food is really important in here. It's very important in this game. There are different ways to find food. Berry trees, rabbits that wander into your zone, and these are rabbit holes, so they come out of the hole, they spawn from these areas. It's not a bad idea to have enough people in your pack to plant one person on the holes. That way when a rabbit does spawn, you get to kind of have that free, quickie food. Another way though is that some of these rustlings that you're hearing around here are going to contain a carnivore, and I was hoping we'd see one this turn. But I don't think we're going to. We'll give it one more turn and see if maybe one of these rustlings over here is a carnivore, just so I can kind of show you. I mean, that could be one in theory. Oh, well, we found another berry tree. And I think there's just rabbits all over there. But I don't hear any more. Oh, see what I did there? It was an accident. I'm actually out of food. And bottom left hand side, and so when I went to go grab the food, I ended up hurting myself. That's not good. Let's check out the baby that we got. So mommy was 2 and 2. Baby has some really cool looking genes so far. At least three collecting is awesome, and 3 strength is also very cool. Now what did you pass along? What did you get? You did carry the blind eyes as a recessive trait. That's not great. But you also have poison fangs from mom and antlers. Awesome. Where'd you get the antlers from? Who has the antlers? Mom, that's right. Mom has antlers and ram. And you got the poison fangs from dad. Cool. You have gray fur. You have mutate yellow fur and mutate gray fur. Cool. So you do have the green eyes as well as a recessive trait. So you're a pretty animal right there. I'm pretty impressed. You have the toxic body though as a recessive trait, which is interesting. I'm not really sure quite where you got that from. Who has a toxic body here? Did you mutate that? It looks like you may have mutated that one. All right, well that's that. Pretty cool animal right there. So we're gonna go ahead and, because we're so low on food. What's your collection actually, dude? 2? I'll move you there so that next turn you can collect. Uh-oh. I think somebody sneezed. But we have a lot of food right here. So unfortunately for me, the bunny that spawned here jumped off as this guy attacked. That's okay, that'll happen. I'll grab that and I'll grab those. Now we have rustling down here. And it's just a bunny. Dang. Well, this guy wandered into our area, so there's a lot of bunnies down there. We might be able to hunt a little bit, actually. But my goal was to actually find us somebody to, a carnivore maybe. And I'm still hurting my guys due to lack of food. That's my bad. I can't see who's sick, but we're going to collect that over there. We're going to use mommy over here to collect these guys. And unfortunately, I don't hear any more rustling, so I can't be sure where there could be a carnivore. I don't think I'll be able to show it to you, but the other videos on my channel do have the carnivore shown. Basically, they spawn, they can kill your guys, they can kill your babies, and when they die, though, they drop a lot of food. So they're actually kind of a good thing to hunt. You should spend some serious time considering getting 3 or 4 different pack mates to have either 3 or 4 attack, and then sending them out there to hunt down carnivores sometimes, you know, like check the rustling grass and try to hunt down carnivores. And by doing so, you can ensure that without losing too many of them, as if you keep them in a pretty close group, you can ensure that you can have a pretty decent supply of constant food. And food is going to be one of those things that I promise you is going to be one of the hardest things for you to manage in this game. I promise you that. Hope you guys enjoyed, though. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. There will be more of the niche gameplay on my channel. I just want to kind of give people who might be new to it a good heads up on what they can be looking out for. And hopefully you all enjoyed. Most importantly, as always, peace out.